Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Gyro here, and we are back in the world of horrific visions, solo runs, casually geared characters, no Gift of the Titans, not even cranial defibrillation, but no elite extermination talent, so I'm not, on this character, I'm not even getting 200 sanity back when I kill an elite, and yet I'm gonna push 3 chests. I'm gonna push 3 chests, and spoiler alert, I'm gonna make it. But what I thought, kind of to make it a little bit more interesting for you and a little bit different from my previous videos, kind of to have an extra spin on the content of this channel, this is gonna be a comparison run. As you can see, I am going to kind of, what would be the right term, overlay, superimpose. I'm gonna put footage, also comparison footage of my main, obviously, who is tiny bit better geared, Demon Hunter, on the side, and I'm just gonna show you when you're brute forcing this, when you're not cheating it, when you're not doing anything particularly fancy, how, like, what's the kind of comparable speed of clearing of these areas on different on these two classes. How about that? So once again, yes, the smartest ones of you will immediately say to me, look, this is not a very clean experiment, it is not identical gear, you have corruption here, you don't have the same level of corruption on Demon Hunter, and also very obviously, very evidently, I am a bit more proficient on Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is my dude, Demon Hunter is my main. However, item level is comparable. Sure, Demon Hunter had a cloak level of 10. This run specifically is recorded with cloak level of 6. Okay, so yes, my sanity is depleting faster, which is why I'm not making it into an end-to-end timed run. So this is not a race to the end. This is just a little bit of a side-by-side comparison with an emphasis obviously made on the character I'm recording right now. He's taking the main part of the screen. You with me? So that's kind of what I wanted to do, and this is literally just kind of an off-the-cuff an experiment, yeah, not a particularly premeditated and very well planned out comparison race, you know, to the finish type of video. Please let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, do you like this? Do you like the idea? Do you think that this is something that you'd like to see? Would you like to see Paladin versus Druid? Would you like to see Demon Hunter in one spec versus Demon Hunter in another spec? Something like that? I am open to your suggestions because I am having fun doing this. I'm never going to turn this into a job of sorts. Channel is growing very organically and slowly but steadily. Thank you very much for your patronage, by the way. So if you haven't subscribed already, but you kind of like the idea, you like the spirit, kind of the mood of the channel, please let me know. It really means a lot to me, you know. I want to make it fun, yeah, for myself and for you. So yeah, so now back to what I have to say about the Death Knight versus my Demon Hunter, who I definitely do run a lot more on. And then, by the way, stick around. I will tell you what's happening with the Demon Hunter ever since that full clear that I did. So I will let you know as well. So Death Knight, if you remember, I kind of recorded pretty much only one really video where I introduced a 2 chest run on practically like cloak rank 1, practically unprepared, completely naked as far as the horrific visions character is concerned, and I was pretty impressed with how modestly geared cloak rank 1 Death Knight, Unholy Death Knight, was able to dish out so much damage and do actually so well. But I also believe, and I need to cross-check, and yes, I'm embarrassed to say I haven't cross-checked before recording this, but I think that video was in Orgrimmar as well. And I still stick to my kind of statement that I think that Stormwind is harder. Stormwind is harder to traverse, Stormwind is more annoying in terms of mechanics. I would much rather jump a couple of times and shake off all of those, for example, pesky insects that start crawling on you in the advanced areas of Orgrimmar, as opposed to dealing with what this place gives me. Anyway, so regardless, so now we are, having said that, where am I going with this? I'm going with this somewhere that my Death Knight is now better geared than in that video, of course he is. he is still not at the top, not at the rank 10, for example, of the cloak, not comparable to Demon Hunter. He's rank 6. Gear is better, and the content is harder because we're in Stormwind. However, you can see that I'm kind of taking quite a few liberties here. I'm pulling multiple groups. I'm using LOS line of sight pulls when I can. No, I'm not running into buildings, and yes, I have tried that, running into buildings a couple of times, especially in the Cathedral Square. I've done that, just not in this specifically recorded video. It works alright, so I can recommend that you could try that. Kind of run around the Cathedral Square, gather around all of the mobs there, run into one of the buildings, the one with the mailbox next to it, and there is also another guy who allegedly is a mini boss of sorts. I think he even gives you some sort of a little buff. That is something I'm just repeating what somebody said in the video. It was too frantic for me when I tried it, and I didn't particularly capture that moment, so I cannot validate it fully, but I'm just giving you some food for thought, as kind of I'm sharing my experiences with you here, as opposed to claiming this to be an end-to-end truth and only truth type of guide. It's not. But yeah, we're learning as we're going. So, in my opinion, again, to get a little bit closer to summary of my observations, yes, again, it's not comparing apples to apples a little bit, but it's comparing apples to very, very similar to apple fruit. That's definitely not an orange. Death Knight feels slower than Demon Hunter. Naturally, he feels slower, but he feels, for whatever he is, for his rank of the cloak, which is lower, for close eye level, but not as good of a gear, not as good trinkets I have on him compared to my Demon Hunter, he still feels sturdier on big pulls, if you know what I mean. So I do make very brave big pulls on Demon Hunter, but when I make them because I know I can usually escape. Yet, I am a little bit playing with fire there, as I said to you during the video of a full clear, that if I get stunned at a bad moment, then I'm dead, and I have been dead before. Because if Demon Hunter stops moving, or stops proactively mitigating, stops doing something Demon Hunterish, he's dead. He's dead in the water, okay? And I said that many times. I said to you, I think the quote was that if you get stunned, you're screwed. Well, if you get stunned seriously by a boss on the DK, you will get screwed too, but he can handle a lot more punishment. And maybe you'll say, well, that's because he's a plate classmate. Maybe it's because he's dressed in plate, but I think overall his passive mitigation of a DK is better. At least feels better to me as a casual, not someone who claims to say it's a best heroic tank. Like, I don't know if he's the best heroic tank, but in Horrific Visions he certainly is, you know, like on big pulls he certainly feels really good. I'm just considering right now, as I trying to get this out of myself, this phrase, I'm considering if I should go as far as saying he's better than Dead Demon Hunter. I think on some big pulls, maybe similar to this one, but perhaps even bigger ones, he feels better than Demon Hunter, my DK. There are just so many numbers popping up when I'm starting to use Scourge Strike and when I'm starting to pop those Festering Wounds. There is just so much damage done straight away. And yes, Demon Hunter uses obviously I-Beam, and I have other AoE things. And I'm using the same essence. I'm using Purification Protocol, which is fantastic. But yeah, so the observations are that Demon Hunter basically is faster, clearing areas faster, but DK can handle a lot more punishment if you like AoE pulls, big AoE pulls, LOS pulls, if this is your cup of tea. So that's probably something for you to do. Now, as you know, I have other alts lining up. I have a paladin who I frankly, as far as gearing him is concerned, as far as leveling his cloak is concerned, I have slowed down on him a little bit, just because I simply, quite honestly, I just don't like him as much as I like the feel of a Demon Hunter, DK, or even a Druid. Even a Druid right now feels more like a challenge to me. I said to you on the previous video where I did the 3 chest run with death on a druid, so this is also a 3 chest run but without a death, and it's something that may look to you like, well, it's 3 chests, 3 chests. Well, first of all, the other one is Orgrimmar, this is Stormwind, and second of all, as far as feel is concerned, and that's what we're comparing, honestly, you and I, very kind of frequently here, regularly on this channel specifically, it feels better. It feels better than the druid, yep. I also tanked LFR on DK. I recorded, obviously I'm releasing mini-series of kind of fairly sloppy, I apologize, but coming from a good place, all of this. Subscribe if you want to see more videos that are talking to you about LFR bosses, face rolling of LFR bosses. Druid is a lazy tank, yeah, love him to bits. Lazy tank, run around, not do much. Well, there are some mitigation, obviously, buttons, yes, Iron Fur and stuff like that, but mainly thrash, mainly swipe. DK, like this unkillable tank, like tank, with also a like not a huge bunch of buttons, but feels a little more technical than Druid, but definitely I get a lot of satisfaction from tanking on DK as well. So there you go, just a little bit of a piece of bonus information in a casual sense in case perhaps you are considering a class for yourself. Like, this was never intended to be as a class guide, but because we talk about a lot of things here and I enjoy this type of format when I'm recording it, yes, it comes out rambly. I apologized already enough times, and unless you're really new, you think, what are you doing, man? I'm just having fun, man. I'm just having fun, and you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to show your support, subscribe to the channel, talk to me in the description. What do you want to see? Do you want to see more of DK under certain circumstances? Do you want to see more of another class? Like I said, I have all classes. Not all of them are evenly geared, not all of them. But I am very much currently sort of, you know, in the process of trying to bring them all up to scratch to at least 440, something, you know, remotely comparable and remotely competitive when it comes to full clears. So naturally my goal is to get to full clears. Now, finally, as promised, news from the land of my Demon Hunter, who is my main. The one I did the full clear video on. If you haven't seen it yet, please have a look. I would love your feedback. Yeah, it's not just to show off, because I know people are already clearing with masks. We're not competing with professionals or with raiders here. So the great news are that I've pushed 4 chest run in Stormwind without Gift of the Titans. I still didn't have Gift of the Titans and I failed. So I have an attempted video, but I'm not using it for you. In fact, I've used a couple of fragments that I've shown you as comparison here, as far as the run of comparison is concerned. But because it's not end to end, it was, you know, okay, it was comparable. We're just comparing areas of the run. But basically 4 chest clear for me failed today on Demon Hunter in Stormwind. But the good news is that I finally got Gift of the Titans, which is the final talent in the Mother's Archives. Well, it's not all literally talents, like there are other ones that I skipped, so I will obviously start filling those out as well. But Gift of the Titans, apparently, just like Cranial Defibrillation, just like Elite Extermination, apparently Gift of the Titans is an absolute game changer. So unfortunately I ran out of visions, you know, the horrific vessels, whatever they're called, vessels of horrific visions. So I cannot record another run with Gift of the Titans just yet. But I think towards the weekend, when I get a chance to get a little bit more corrupted mementos and corrupted, you know, whatever those things are, I'm just blanking out right now. I'll record another video and I'll bring it to you to just see how much of a difference Gift of the Titans makes. Thank you very much for surviving the rant. Thank you very much for your support. Let's take a look at this modest loot that I got and say goodbye for now. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.